Hello there, and welcome to another of Andre's Artist Profiles here on YouTube. Today, I wanted to give a shout out to my friend Thomas Carley from Oregon, who last night told me something that I had absolutely no idea about, that today was the 65th birthday of Mr. Alan Parsons. Now, I've always loved this man's music, but in the past 4, 5, 6 years, I've really gotten to appreciate him a lot more. Now, the albums that you see here, I haven't listened to every single one of them, so I can't give you much of a critique, but I can show you what I have on CD by Alan Parsons Project. Now, the first album I have here is Tales of Mystery and Imagination. It is a retelling of Edgar Allan Poe. This album was originally released in 1976. There's been a remaster since this time, but this is the original Mercury CD release. You can see with that red and silver logo. The next version I have is a remaster. This is actually Mr. Carley's favorite song by Alan Parsons, as far as I know, called I, Robot. And this has since, again, been remastered. This is something of a classic of the era, and was released in 1977. There's a lot of bonus cuts on this album. Actually 4 of them, but this reissue was put out in 2000 and... well, I'm not really sure, but anyway. The next album is called Pyramid. Again, this is not the remaster. This is an Arista reissue. Probably from the late 80s as well. There has been a remaster of this with bonus tracks. Their 1978 album, I just didn't manage to get a hold of it. The next album I did manage to get a hold of was another remaster from 1979 called Eve. Give you an idea what the bonus tracks are on that album. They're listed a bit sideways. Actually, sideways the other way around. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 bonus tracks, some remixes, some not. That's 1979 Eve. They closed out the 70s with that album. The next album is The Turn of a Friendly Card. And this album contains a song that was probably the first that I ever heard Alan Parsons do, and it's a song called Time. It's one of the most beautiful songs I've really ever heard melodically from this man in my life, and it's a wonderful song. There's plenty of bonus tracks, another great reissue, probably from the early 2000s. Here's a little list of the CDs. You'll be seeing those all in a few minutes. Let me just take a look at the CD there for a minute. It's got a playing card, king on it, for the logo. This is Eye in the Sky. I think most people, when they think of Alan Parsons Project, they think of this song. It's another great album by him. He had a lot of great concept albums with the Alan Parsons Project, this being among them, from 1982. There's some of the artwork inside. More artwork on the back. The next album, Ammonia Avenue, came out in 1983, and they had a hit off this album called Don't Answer Me, which I remember growing up, I think my connection to Alan Parsons is more than nostalgic, though. It grows with me over time. And there's more cover art. There was a very unique cover art ideas, at least I thought. I always liked that, the men with their face in the dirt there. Now, this album I didn't actually know about until about 5 or 6 years ago, Vulture Culture from 1984. I don't think it did as well as some of their other records did, but I love the title song on this. It's not a bad follow-up to Eye in the Sky or a song like that. This, again, is not a remaster, but I may get that eventually. This is the Alan Parsons Project album from 1985, Stereonomy. And this album really introduced a lot of modern day elements. I don't know why people would be upset about Alan Parsons using synthesizer in his music, because he always used synthesizer in his music. I don't really understand why that would be a big deal. And they said, oh, he went too poppy on this album. He was always poppy. Expansively poppy, but poppy nevertheless. So I just see this as a great extension of Alan Parsons, even if didn't do as well as some of the earlier albums. This 1987 project is actually a soundtrack. Again, it's one of the remasters called, I believe it's pronounced Gaudy, or Gowdy, or whatever. Okay, so that's what I have for Alan Parsons Project albums. And a little bit of a review as I put them back. Again, I wanted to thank Thomas Carley for letting me know that this was the man's birthday today. And he doesn't release albums all the time now. I mean, he does make music. He had one out, I think, in 2004, which I don't actually have on CD, but that's what I have by the Alan Parsons Project, and that's what you're going to commonly find by them. So, happy birthday to Alan Parsons. Shout out to Thomas Carley, and I'll see you next time.